enjoy this topic. It's about building a brand from nothing through social media. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are starting from scratch and you would love to learn how to grow your brand, this is a topic for you guys. Okay, make sure you pay 200% attention in this topic, all right? So moving on, we have Veronyca Kwan, a brand builder and a storyteller. She's the co-founder of Belle Shoes, a brand with cult following for its exquisite shoes, an online luxury evening and wedding shoe store. She's gained cult followers through its beautifully handmade occasion shoes, includes elegant wedding shoes, bridal flats, prom, evening heels, anniversary shoes, and date night outfit shoes. So if you're building for a business from scratch, you do not want to miss this next topic on how to build your brand from nothing through social media. Veronica, are you ready? Over to you.
Hey guys, are you able to see my screen now? Can you hear me? Are you guys able to hear me? Hello?
Yes, we are able to hear you.
Okay. All right, awesome. Hey guys, it's my honor to be here and explain a little bit about my journey, sharing my experiences with everyone. I realized that it's nighttime in Malaysia, so I'll try to make this interesting and worth your while. Thank you, Vivian, for such an incredible introduction. And let's start from this. Looking back, somewhat in my high school years, I was a little entrepreneur. My father has always been an entrepreneur, so he taught me how to, or he showed me rather how to, earn your money earlier on by selling the candies that I got from gift. So that has always been what I look back of my childhood on. And it is a little bit naive for me to start a shoe company when I was really young with my best friend. We knew there were not a lot of beautiful shoes that are comfortable. So we decided, hey, let's try to make something that is as beautiful as they're comfortable, because usually beautiful shoes are not comfortable and vice versa. So this is my journey, and I will break it down into very practical advices that I can share with you guys on how to build something from nothing. And when I think about brand, I don't necessarily mean the color of your website or product, the brand name that you're using. I'm looking at it more from how do you create that memorable and something that when somebody says about you or your brand, that is what they're known, that's what they know about you. So let's move on to the next slide here. All right, so this is sharing my personal experience so you can decide what route to take, and it is practical. I'm not a consultant. I did not learn it from textbook, even though I had my formal education in business, but really the experience is the one that taught me why you need a brand instead of white labeling, for example. Steps to build a brand from nothing, and this includes macro and micro as well, because I know as you the sellers, I look at things from two levels. One, the strategic way, the big decisions that truly charted the path going forward, as well as micro level, where every single day you consciously make decisions that will propel your brand forward. And then also the key sauce that I had and my partner had in building our business from scratch, which is the power of social media. So I'll explain a little bit more about why social media, and also let you guys know that social media is not the only thing that that propel our business. So that said, let's move on to the next topic. The fundamentals. What is a brand? As I mentioned before, a brand could be about what you name your store, what you name your website, what your color, what your logo, packaging, images, and how you communicate with your customer. So those are the basic understanding of what a branding is. However, When you look back at what a brand really is at its core, it is what you are known for, what people say when you're not in the room. So keep this in mind when we talk about brand for this session. It's not just what you name your website, what your color is, even though those are what you'd have to decide on, but those are more on the basic. And what I want to bring into discussion is a more elevated topic of what a brand really is. And it goes beyond what you put out, and it goes more on what people are talking about you. So moving on, why you need a brand. So before we even delve into what we need to do to build a brand from nothing, it's why you need a brand. Earlier, Kion talked about avoiding price wars, trying his own design and all that. And all of those are some of the reasons why you need a brand. So first things first, stand out amongst competitors. No one doubt how tight the market competitiveness is. So this having a brand helps you stand out amongst competitors. And what does it mean for you? It means longevity. It means that you can go beyond what the typical your competitors are, and that is the key for success. Next is provide more value. It means, what does it mean for you? It means you can charge more. When there is a lack of apple to apple comparison for a certain thing, you can charge more because you provide more value. And then third, and to me most important, is sometimes when you are an entrepreneur, you feel that you want to do 100 things all at once. However, having a brand will guide you in your marketing efforts. That focus, that forces you to focus and to align everything that you do that speaks to your brand, that elevate your brand and scale it. So now that we know why we need it, let's jump in on what are the main elements or branches of brand. And obviously, like the packaging and the branding aspect that I mentioned to you before are one of it. But now we're going to talk more about customer group, product, marketing, and a little bit about sales channels. And that is how you can brand, you can differentiate your brand. So with that, I'll go a little bit into more detail of the on these branches. First is fundamentals. How do you, and this fundamentals is going to apply to you whether you decide to, get into business by being a brand versus, just any, versus reselling, or, as a wholesale or as a retailer. So first is whatever you do, this is, like starting business from 101, not even a brand, is performing market research. From there, you understand who buys your products, the competitors, and the different opportunity. And the differentiation opportunity is where you set yourself apart. What are the ways to serve the underserved market? What are the ways that we can provide something that people don't even know that they need, or people know that they need already but hasn't been served? So to me, that is first and foremost the most important thing. It may sound basic, but how many of us have just been, hey, I'm interested in this, let me just try it out. And after that, you realize, oh, I did not know enough about these competitors. Oh, this market is so dominated that I don't know how to differentiate my product or my service. So the first key thing that I wish that people told me before I started was perform your market research. It is very tempting to buy your first product and try to sell it and learn from that as you go. But first things first is understand how you can make a difference. After you know that, then you'll be able to position your product to address that particular market in a way that others may not do as well. Next is decide on your customer group and be as specific as possible. Don't say, I wanted to serve all Malaysians, for example. That is the key for for unfocusedness. And this and every time when you get started, it is the focus that will set you apart from others. This is the guiding factor in every single thing that you do. What this means is you speak their language, you know their pain points. We'll talk about this further. You know what they need, and you offer them your product to resolve their problems. So this is the key that and this is the key that I see a lot of businesses fail, is when they try to cater to as big of a group as possible. It loses that connectivity, that it loses the focus, that the group that you're targeting feel that you're not speaking out to them. Just like when I started this call, this conversation, I say this is for, you know, you guys as retailers and wanting to learn something from you know, my experience of building a brand. I categorize you, and therefore every single thing that I say in this call or in this session is focused to address you guys as how I would put myself in your shoes, you know, when I started this. So always decide on your customer group and make sure that you cater to them in every single thing that you do. And it could be in your marketing, in your choice of product, in how you communicate with everyone verbally and non-verbally. Moving on is also decide on your brand name, something that's meaningful and memorable to target your customer. There's so many brand names available there. The sky's your limit, your creativity is your limit, but make sure that you are you choose something that is meaningful and memorable for your target customer. Memorableness is one of the key aspects of what makes you different. So don't lose that. In every interaction, try to be as memorable as possible, and how you are memorable for your target customer can be different, right? When you address them by their role, that is memorable. So when you have a product specifically targeting kids, for example, you know you're selling to moms, so you'll say, hey, busy moms, we know you, we hear you, these are your pain points. Wouldn't it be more memorable for you, for the moms who are reading this? They'll be like, oh yeah, that person is speaking to me, let me see what they sell. That is how you gain attention, and that is how you become memorable. So those three key things, I don't mean is the only thing that you do when you build a brand from nothing. Obviously, we'll have more, but to me, those are the fundamental factors that will set you apart and give you that focus and consistency. That is the key for success. It's not going to be, oh, I want to target all of Malaysia. You want to target working moms in Malaysia who have who, for example, doesn't have domestic help, or you want to target single people who are interested in fashion, who loves going out and you know, a mingle with different people. So those are the kind of specificness that we're talking about. And then later on, we'll talk about how we can talk to this customer group in every single thing that you do. Moving on is target customer. To me, this is the meat of the topic. Find your crowd. Earlier, I talked about identify your target customer and talk to them in every single thing that you do. And this is more on the ground level, more on the macro level, as what we wanted to talk to them about. First, speak directly to them in every single thing you put out. The focus and the alignment and the consistency is what we're talking about. Speak directly to them. Where do they hang out? Are they mostly at home? Are they mostly outside? Whether they're at the mall or whether are they on the road, driving back and forth from their work? All of those things you'd have to you know, do a research on for your target customer. Only after you know their behavior, then you'll be able to solve their problem. What are their preferences? What are their pain points? What are their dislikes? it's something that they dislike, probably you wouldn't want to put that into their into what you do. But you understand but once you understand their dislikes, you are able to use that towards your advantage. You can say something like, we know this is your dislikes, therefore we have removed that from our product for you, or from our services for you. Understanding what your target customer need, and speaking to them and resolving their problem, is how you're going to be able to stay apart, or stand apart from your competitor, and set yourself um, to a higher standard, which means create more value to customer. And what does creating more value mean? It means charging more. So there you go. Find your crowd, target your customer. An article that I read a long time ago that I still remember up until now is, there is a club, a membership club that this lady founded, that offers haircuts, weekly or bi-weekly haircuts for short-haired ladies. As you guys know, when you have short hairs, and this applies to men as well, you need to trim them more regularly, so that it doesn't go unruly, as opposed to longer hair, which is more unnoticeable when it grows out. So what this lady says is, hey, I need a place, because I have short hair, I have short pixie hair. I need a place who I can just go and trim my hair, but it costs so much if I go to a traditional salon. So what she did was found it, and she met different people that have the same haircut, that felt that need as well, and that's what inspired her to do this. Now notice that this is very targeted specifically for pixie cut hair ladies, and most likely it is confined in a single area. But what this gives idea for you is how to target your customer, how to know what customers need, and figure out what their pain points, and solving their problems. So but in any case, kind of finishing my thought on the model for the haircut membership, she's able to negotiate a lower rate with the salons in her area that will provide lower haircut rate for these ladies that come to her regular that need more haircuts more often. So see how, just by identifying a need, you're able to kind of think it through and say, how do I resolve their problem and provide value? So there's that. Keep that in mind. It is such a memorable story from a long time ago, I find, that truly talk about targeting your customer and catering to their needs. Moving on is product. Without product, or without any value that you sell, whether it's services as well, a business is nothing. So it must be based on something that solve your target customers' pain points. It could go from original design. If you think of Apple, and how Apple has completely transformed the personal electronics industry, it is very refreshing to see how they come up with original design, something that hasn't been done before. A laptop used to be clunky and very uncool and very rudimentary and basic, and they are able to elevate it to something that is a lot more refined and cool, and it speaks to the younger generation nowadays. So come up with original design. And this also are back to what Keon, the speaker earlier, that says he invested in original design. Now, not everybody can do original design. It requires creativity and freshness. Moving on to a different way of offering something different is refresh something that has been done before. And when what I think of this is like the earbud that go into your ears, that Apple redesigned a while back. All along, you think your earlobe is round because all of the previous earbuds are round. However, they come up with a design that says, hey, your earlobe is not round. Therefore, we have designed an earbud that fits perfectly, ergonomically suited to your ears. And you're like, hey, how come we didn't think of that before? And I think that is the key. Refreshing something that have been created before. Does it mean you start from scratch with original design? Not necessarily. You're just refreshing something that's already in the market and make it better. And that brings me to the next point, make it better, whether it's cheaper, faster, higher quality, more beautiful. Cheaper is not always the answer, but it is a key differentiation. And faster as well. You think of cars, people love fast cars. Therefore, when you can make a faster car, that means you can charge more. And breaking it down or bringing it down to what we as entrepreneurs can do, because not every one of us can build a car factory like Elon Musk, is something like perhaps a vacuum cleaner. Sometimes vacuum cleaner, you'd have to be really intentional in vacuuming and be slower so that the vacuum has the most optimum suction for your area to be cleaned. What if it's faster and cleaner? That is a key area of differentiation as well. That's just some of the examples that I can provide to give that macro level of detail that can help you ignite in ideas for your businesses. And it's not always as easy, but nothing in life that is enduring and successful is easy. So keep that in mind. The next thing is also make it memorable. The whole thing about branding or brand is really making every touch point memorable. You can choose what you want to make memorable on. And it can be a phrase that you keep on saying at the top of your product page or on your website and at the bottom of your product page, and you say it consistently in every single ad that you put out, or every single newsletter or customer communication that you put out. Make it memorable. And when we say memorable, it means you also repeat it frequently. Next is also add your signature look. If you look at Apple, it always has that logo. And even without that logo, you can tell that it is Apple from the sleekness of it, from the roundedness of it, something that is not too cookie cutter, something that is white, for example, where in fact a lot of the laptops are black. So determine what your signature look is and always put it out to different components of your business. It doesn't need to only be in your product, which we're going to talk about more later on. Moving on to the next element is marketing. And to me, this is a lot of the secret sauce that sets you apart from others. Why is YSL or Louis Vuitton or any of the branded goods that so far can charge more for essentially a bag than your neighborhood market? It is because of how they market their products. And this can be a very visible part of what can set you apart from your competitors. So how do you get noticed by your target customer is the key question here. Especially when we get started, it needs a lot of research and a lot of understanding of our customers, which is what we already talked about earlier in the session. What we need to do with that that research or that knowledge is how we put it into marketing. First, determine their hangout place. Right now, everybody uses social media, but not everybody. There's still that one-on-one connection when you talk in WhatsApp, for example. Friends, friends that need a certain thing that you offer. So it's not always social media. Yes, social media is by far the biggest transformation since 10 years ago. A lot of people congregate there, which is why social media becomes the main area for marketing for a lot of brands. But remember, it's not always all. Could it be somewhere offline? Could it be a cafe? Could it be a road, the roadside, or could it be a place where people drive back and forth from their work every day? So always keep in mind in terms of your target customer. Where do they go? What area of information do they consume? And focus on those. This is where you know your customer already. First, well, you have to identify them from the earlier slide, but you know already where they are and what their preferences are to create this, like marketing campaign. So speak their language. That is the another thing as well. You want to relate to them. You want them to know that you understand their issues or their pain points. Therefore, speak their language. And this means if you are focusing on teenagers, for example, be more casual in your language, be more warm, and use words like, rad or awesome. Just speak their language. Take note of what your teenage needs or daughter or a son may use in their language with their friends. That is how much of a macro level detail you'd have to go to in your marketing efforts to truly make a difference and get noticed by your target customer. So speaking their language is really, really important. Next, and equally important, is show and tell how you can resolve their problems. Sometimes you show how you can resolve their problems, but not tell. Sometimes you tell, but not show. And to me, the key there is be consistent and be focused and show them how you resolve their problems and tell them. And what this means is in your product page, that's how you do it. You tell them. How do you show them? By showing the video. Use it in action. If you're putting out a sofa that is, waterproof, for example, use video to show them what you need to, what they can expect from your product in terms of performance. And obviously, telling is easy, but showing is harder. But when you do show and tell, that's a powerful marketing, and you'll get noticed by your target customer. Moving on is collaborating. A lot of times we think marketing as, hey, I just want to put out content and content and content, make it, from you to them. But the thing that is mostly missed is how you collaborated with other non-competing businesses targeting the same groups of customers. This means that you'd have to network and go beyond what your ecosystem is, your internal ecosystem is, and say, hey, are there any opportunities in me targeting other customer group, targeting the same customer groups by looking at other non-competing businesses? When you collaborate, it means giving value to each other. It means 1 + 1 is more than 2. So focus on adding value to your other non-competing businesses out there, but also, expect the same from others as well. This is the give and take part of the equation here. Make sure that you collaborate also, not just internally, but with other brands. And this is how you get noticed by your target market and expand your exposure. So as you can tell in the few slides earlier and this slide as well, I don't put out too many tips here. It's more about the key ones that I feel will make a difference, no matter whether you have just started or you are well underway in your e-commerce journey. So keep this in mind. These are the key points that I felt made a difference in my experience in growing a brand. And this is something that we want to make sure that if somebody say, hey, Veronica, what have you learned from your business? These would be what I say. Are there other things that would make your marketing great? Of course. But these four, in my opinion, would be the key steps for you to take. Sounds good? All right. Let's move on. I know I've just been, rolling around, rolling on, and I wanted to make sure that um, you guys are with me along the way, as these are, a lot of the fundamentals that a lot of people know. People talk about it, but they don't do it. And I am one of them as well. I thought, hey, it's pretty easy, right? Notice your target customer, or get noticed by your target customer. But when you break it down, it is a lot of macro level items, and micro level items as well. So moving on, still focusing on marketing here. And if there are any focus in my talk today, it's really marketing. I believe that's what set my brand that I co-founded with my co-founder a while back, how it made the difference. So in terms of marketing, it is often conjures up the topic of, oh, what you say about your brand, what you show about your brand. But equally important is what others say about you. It is so important that I want to make sure that you guys don't miss this percentage golden rules, I say it. So what you say about your brand is only about 30% of the equation. There are plenty of ways you can say about your brand in your website, product page, your communication, whether when you run ads, for example, in Shopee or in different marketplaces, your social media content. That's what you say about your brand. And a lot of people may not be too sure about it. Like, sure, you say that about your brand, and you can say anything about your brand, but how do we convert people? How do we give people that confidence to buy from you and to continually buy from you? Next is also what you show about your brand. Remember what I say about show and tell? That 30% is about about telling telling people what you are about your brand. But this one is about showing it. And it's not always easy, because you show it by what your actual product is and how it's being used when people buy it. And also product images are obviously very, very important, because that's the only thing in e-commerce that will show you, aside from video, what you actually sell and how it provides value. Marketing images, you can elevate your brand by making a better marketing image that will speak more to your customer, for example. And how you treat your customers, replying DMs regularly, being thankful for them and all that. That is what you show about your brand. But combined, those only make up 60% of what a powerful marketing is. Everybody can do marketing, but those that do well put out great marketing and powerful marketing modules here. Next, that I think is most powerful, that we continually build as a brand, is what others say about your brand. And this is the same, like, for example, if you remember when we were kids, your mom say, oh, my kid is not good, always naughty, always, won't listen to me. But if your teacher or somebody else say, oh, he is a good kid, he did his tests, exams really well, he's well behaved, and you're like, what others say is more powerful than what your mom say. Us Asians, our parents always think that we're the worst child, for example, or they never say anything nice about us. But most importantly, everyone knows that when you don't say anything, when that's your parents' job. They don't want to kind of make your how should I say this, that's just not their love language. How's that? So bringing it back to the marketing, obviously we don't say anything bad about our product or our brand, but what I wanted to showcase here is what others say about your brand is more important than what you say yourself or what you show about yourself. So how do we get this 40%? It is customer reviews. We put out or showcase our customer reviews regularly so that other customers see what our previous customers say about us. And then most importantly, also, I feel like the customers, friends, and family, because when you make a customer happy, they're happy to talk about you to their friends and family. And to me, the authenticity and the power of this way supersede any ads that you can run with others. And then in the era of influencers, obviously influencers are key as well, but be specific in your influencers. You want somebody that speak or that represent your target market. Be as specific as possible and make sure to look for influencers that have engaged key audience. So, and this influencer line, small point right here, can be a focus of an entirely new topic right here. Next is also reputable websites or third parties. Find out what websites out there review your products and talk to them, communicate with them, send them samples so that they can also talk about your products as well. Third parties could mean forums where people in your target market come in and share your products. And talk about their needs and so on. So these four small main points can be expounded to a lot of things that you can use to further your brand by having others talk about your brand. And to me, that is what makes or break a certain brand. And that's why I highlighted that 40% as opposed to the first two components. Sounds good? All right, guys, I know that this is a lot of things, but I hope that you guys can get good nuggets from this talk. Next is a deeper dive in social media marketing. And believe me when I say social media marketing is not everything. It's just a subset of marketing, not the only one. And I will try to make this faster, as I believe our time is running out here. And there are four main elements of social media: content, network, ads, and research. I will go into this very quickly. Content means what you put out there, what you say, what you say about your brand, and what you show about your brand. And content can means how to, from how to use your product, how to clean your product, and so on. And it can even say anything about reviews or what customers say about you and so on. Network is collaborating with others, having others talk about you, and that is also important. Reach out to people who focus or to businesses who also focus on your target market. That is what network means. Social media means social, being social. So next is ads, focusing on ads and running your ad campaign to target your customer. There's an entirely different topic that you can, an entirely different speaking engagement that can be done on ads alone. And further research how to make it better. Look at other brands, how they do it, and make it your own. I actually went through every single topic here, but I don't believe we have enough time to go through that. But I want to finish this with common misconception. Fast and easy. You'd think it's fast and easy to do to build anything from nothing. Obviously, not the case. Consistency wins the race. Nothing enduring is fast and easy. Further, What I say about my brand is most important. That's what we think. But what others say about you is more important. So focus on having others talk about you. Now, I don't mean pestering people, right? Hey, can you write about me? Can you write about me? No, it's more about putting out something that people feel compelled to write about you in a more authentic way. Next is I only need to say what it is that I want to say on my product page. No, no, no. You say and show it everywhere. And your brand is the guiding factor for all your business. And it brings focus and alignment. And when you just start, focus and alignment is the key idea there. People say social media is the only way to grow my brand. Actually, no, not really. You market where your customers go. That's why you identify your customers and then you build marketing around it. If they go to social media, sure. But if you go to trade shows, for example, go there, follow them. Brands can change is another perception that we have. It actually evolves with you. So don't feel that you are confined to something, but make sure that you give that the consistency and focus and alignment. I said this is a very long session, but the focus that I wanted you to take away from, if there's one word that I want to implore you to do and encourage you, is consistency, and repeating it, consistency and consistency. And what I mean by consistency is being close to your target customer. Align everything you do in your with your brand, and ask what you can do better. So with that, I hope this has been a useful and beneficial talk for you guys. And I wish you well in your e-commerce journey. And remember, nothing is easy for anything when you're building something that's enduring. Vivian, now back to you.